Hello, welcome. I thought we'd do something a little fun today. Not that what I usually do isn't fun, but you've probably seen by the title what this is going to be about. This is the video game tag. I've seen other people do it. Most lately, is that even a word? I think it is. Yeah, I was watching what's her name? Fluffy Paw, I believe her name is. Go check out her channel. It's a kind of a gamer vlog kind of thing. Pretty cool. But yeah, I saw her do the video game tag, and I got inspired to do it myself. I like these kind of tags. I started doing another one some time ago, but I actually never finished that. I should probably do that as well. But yeah, I have this on a document, text document. So I will be doing something like this in once in a while, and so I can pop up the document to read it, but you won't be able to see that. But just so that's why I have a lot of breaks here. But so that's why I'll do that sometimes. So yeah, let's get started with the first question, which is what is your all-time favorite video game? And well, most of you already know the answer to that question. It is Duke Nukem 3D. I bought it in 1996, and I pretty much haven't stopped playing it since. I mean, there has been some pauses and stuff like that, but carrots. But I've always returned to it, and because it has so much to offer, there's so much to the game itself, and then of course all the user created content which is still being made. It's a bit slower now than it was, but there's still actually a lot being made for an almost 20-year-old game. Yeah, next year Duke Nukem 3D turns 20. Duke Nukem has turned 20. Or I don't actually remember when the first Duke Nukem game came out, but that was probably like in 93. I don't know. So yeah, Duke Nukem, uh, 3D, my favorite game of all time. And the next question, let's take a look. Look at me. Ooh. I always like that he does that. What is your current favorite video game? My current favorite video game will actually still be Duke Nukem 3D. But let's say I have to choose something else, and of course it should be something that I'm currently playing. That's a tough one because I'm playing a lot of great games. I yesterday actually I started playing just for myself. I thought about making a video with this, but I kind of wanted to play this on my own, and that is Psychonauts. That I don't know if that would be my current favorite game because I haven't really played it that much, but it seems like a really cool game. So if I have to choose anything I'm currently playing, that would be it, or Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, or Fallen Earth. But if it's just the game that I currently think is my favorite game, it would still be Duke Nukem 3D. That's actually a weird question when you think of it. Your all-time favorite and your current favorite, wouldn't it be the same? If it's your all-time favorite, then it's still your current favorite. Otherwise, it wouldn't be your all-time favorite. Or maybe they mean like the game you had as a favorite in most years. But hey, if you recently changed, then that would be your current. Or maybe they do mean what I'm currently playing. But what if you were only currently playing one video game? Then that would have to be it. Most people, I guess, would only be playing one video game, because not all people play like 7 or 8 video games at the time, like me. Uh, oh yeah, by the way, the reason why I've chosen to play Psychonauts on my own rather than for a series is because I feel like that's a game that I really want to just immerse myself into. There's a lot of uh, picking up items, searching for items, and I prefer doing that by myself. And also, I need some games that I don't record. Oh, got lagged around. So I hope that's okay. I might, who knows? Maybe I'll replay it in some time for my channel. But Psychonauts is the kind of game that I want to play on my own. It's the same with the Fallout series, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. If I had a channel back when those games just came out, I wouldn't want to play them. Those are games that I feel like, yeah, I need to play them on uh, for myself. I was close. I was actually close to not playing Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl on my channel because I wanted to play it just by myself. But I thought, no, I really wanted to have some kind of major game playing on it. I chose Stalker, which by the way, I'm not really big good at Stalker. I know. Hopefully, I'll do better in the next Stalker game. Anyway, next question. Uh, what is your favorite video game genre? Ugh, that's a tough one because I kind of like a little bit of everything. I think the one that I think my favorite genre is adventure game, but it's not the genre I play the most because I don't know, adventure games, a good adventure game that is, kind of takes a lot out of you, a lot of energy because you need to use your brain a lot. So you don't feel like diving into another adventure game right away. But I guess my favorite genre is the adventure game, but the most played genre is probably the first-person shooter. I love me a good first-person shooter. But then again, I also like great RPG games, especially the old Nintendo style, the JRPG kind of thing, Chrono Trigger, the Final Fantasy games. Um, really love those. Never really completed much of them. I completed Harvest Moon and the Shining Force, and that's about it. But yeah, I think adventure games is probably my all-time favorite genre. But like I said, you don't want to just dive into one game after the other. Both for multiple reasons. One is, like I said, it takes a lot of brain activity, but also, I kind of a good adventure game has a really great story, and you want to kind of let that linger for a bit after it's done, in my opinion. So yeah. Next question is, how long have you been playing video games? Holy shit, many many years. Uh, since I was 4, I would believe. I would think 4 or 5. I'm not really sure. So a long time. Um, I guess I was about to talk about what play games I played, but I think that's actually a couple, no, some of the next questions. So let's move on to that. Yeah, what's the first game you ever played? The first game I ever played was Pong. Not joking. That was Pong with like those joysticks where you'd have to like turn a knob like back and forth to make the paddle go up and down. It was like a Pong console where there were 3 different games, like normal Pong, sun is setting, which they called tennis. There were like something called hockey, I believe. Or was it volleyball? Now it was hockey. Hockey. I've seen a version where they called it volleyball, but yeah, it was hockey where you had 4 paddles, 2 on each side, and they would like move in different patterns. And then there was squash, where you just have 1 paddle and a wall. That was the only game you could play on your own because I don't believe that the game has any kind of AI, so you couldn't play against the machine. Maybe you could. It's many years ago, I can't really remember. That was the first game I ever played. Quickly followed by Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, the one where you have to flip turtles by jumping. Really cool game. So, next question. What game have you clocked the most hours into? Well, that has to be Duke Nukem. Again, Duke Nukem 3D. But I think the game that I've clocked the second most game I was into would probably be Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 3 probably because it's been out longer, but I think if you compare for the amount of time they've been out, I think I've played Fallout New Vegas more than Fallout 3. if you look at how long they've been out. But because there are, I like modding, and there's more mods for Fallout New Vegas, but I like Fallout 3 the most. So but I still think that I've played Fallout 3 more than Fallout New Vegas. But yeah, so next question is, what's your longest gaming session? Well, you're talking to a man. Talking to? No one's talking to me. I don't have a sense of time, so I don't really know. But to be honest, I've never really played for that long. I don't really, because I have a don't really a lag of focus, bad concentration. So, but I think the longest gaming session was actually one where I didn't play myself, which that makes sense. But that was back in the late '90s. I was me and some friends were like I was attending a school where I lived at. That was just for a year, and me and two others. Well, it started with more, but mostly and me and two others were playing Resident Evil. One of us was controlling, and the other two was just watching. And like I said, it started out with being more, but it got late, and most went to sleep. But yeah, we started at like 9 o'clock in the evening. No, that's a lie. We started earlier, but around 9 o'clock in the evening, and we didn't stop until like 6 in the morning, I believe. And it was like, wow. So that would be 9 hours, I guess, of Resident Evil. I don't think we completed it. We died a lot. It was and screamed a lot. We actually woke up our neighbor. The neighbor. We were in one of the guys' rooms, and the neighbor, she woke up, and she had a temper. Let's just say that. And at first, she screamed at us. Then she lit up a cigarette and just sat there and watched with the rest of us. But yeah, that's probably like I said. I wasn't playing, but I that in a way that was my longest gaming session. Next question. Who is your favorite game developer? Well, Apogee. I don't really have a favorite, but Apogee would definitely be one of them. Apogee slash 3D Realms. For those of you who don't know, Apogee and 3D Realms is the same. Fun story. When Apogee made Duke Nukem 3D, they started using the name 3D Realms. Their original plan was that they were going to have a different company name for each of the different genres. If they started making platformers, they would publish them under a different name, and real-time strategy under a different name. Unfortunately, what they didn't know was that Duke Nukem 3D would be their last really major success, and the second to last game in many years. I mean, they published Shadow Warrior shortly after Duke Nukem 3D, and they wouldn't actually create another game until Duke Nukem Forever came out. So yeah, that was a long break. And then, but if you look at Apogee's history, they've done lots of good for the gaming community. They were the first company that started using the internet to promote games and sell games. They were the company that perfected the shareware system, and of course, they were the company that published what is now known as the first ever first-person shooter, Wolfenstein 3D. They didn't make it, but they published the game. But other companies I really like is Bethesda. Bethesda has made so many great games. I don't appreciate their business model. They are major douchebags. Well, actually, that's ZeniMax. But ZeniMax and Bethesda is created and owned by the same guy. So, yeah. But yeah, they sue people. They claim copyright for things, and the whole interplay Bethesda thing with about Fallout Online is just childish. But if you look at them just for the games they've created so many great games. I really love the Elder Scrolls series, the and of course the Fallout games. It's amazing. But like I said, I really don't care who developed my games as long as it's a great game. I don't really give a shit. And I feel like I could have mentioned more companies like it or Square. But yeah, half the time I don't even know who develops my games because I don't care. It's like watching a movie and caring about what company published it. I don't know. Next question is where was I? There. Oh, here. Who is your favorite hero character from a game? Oh, I wonder who that might be. Duke Nukem. And I mean, that's not just because I like the game, that's because Duke Nukem is fucking badass. He has the best one-liners, most of them stolen from other media. A lot of them from Army of Darkness and Evil Dead too. But he's just a badass character with a really great one. But let's say, as so many other questions, let's say I can't choose him. Uh, oh, that's a tough one then. Actually, my favorite hero. I mean, I could say the Lone Wanderer from Fallout 3, but the problem is he doesn't really have a character. You create everything about him. Doesn't have emotions. He doesn't have any opinions, which actually makes him the perfect character for me because I appreciate more when you have like a I was about to say a soulless. I guess that would be a character that doesn't have any pre-made emotions and feelings. Uh, so I guess a character like the Lone Wanderer or Curious Six would be my favorite type of character. The ones you create yourself would be my villains. My villains? That's the next question, I think. My hero character. Uh, moving on to. Who is your favorite villain? Yeah, see, that was the next question. My favorite villain. I don't know. Most of the games I play don't really have a specific villain. Duke Nukem 3D, I could say the Cycloid Emperor, but he's not really an important villain. I mean, he's not like you have Dr. Eggman or Wario in a lot of the Sonic and Mario Brothers, but it's not really. I'm like I don't know. Who would be my favorite villain in a game? Oh, that's a tough one. Like I said, the games I play don't usually have a main villain character. And if they do, they don't really play that much of a role. Like I don't know. In most first-person shooters, you usually have a villain character that's a villain by name only, and not really as a character that much, and you have his army you more control. Whereas in games like Zelda and Sonic and Mario and other games like that, you have a more specific villain, a bad guy. But I don't know. I'm thinking really hard. I can't really imagine one. I can't. I don't know. Are there any main villains in any game of the games I've played? I'm looking at my game collection. Oh, I know, I know. I didn't think of that, but I would probably have to say Alma from the Fear games. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but Alma from the Fear games is probably my favorite villain. She's badass. She is evil in personified in many ways, but she's not really evil. She's a person who has been tortured, held captive, and is just seeking revenge. That's what I like about her. She's not driven exactly by evil, but in some way she has become it still by fate. She is a force of nature that whose only purpose is to destroy all those who wronged her and everyone who stands in her way. And that is the coolest kind of character in my opinion, and she's just creepy as fuck, both as young Alma, child Alma, and also as the adult Alma. Um, I haven't played Fear 3, but I've heard that she doesn't really play a part in that, which is kind of sad because I heard that most of the supernatural if and horror elements has been taken out of Fear 3. I am going to play it at some point, maybe for this channel. I don't own it, but it shouldn't really be that expensive these days. But yeah, Alma, definitely my favorite character. Let's should I continue? I don't know how long this video's been, but I feel like continuing. So you might get a long video, but some of these questions might be fast. Okay, who is your most hated character in any game? Ugh, I don't know. I'm not really. Um, there really isn't any characters that I hate. I guess actually, returning to my hatred, not really hatred, but my disliking of Far Cry 3. Um, I really didn't enjoy most of the main character's friends. They were very, very stereotypical, cliched, and plain annoying. Especially the girlfriend. She is the whiniest. Just, I mean, she is selfish as fuck. I don't know how many times, spoiler alert, during the game that she tells us to, oh, can't we just go home? Well, shit. We haven't even saved all our friends. There are people here that might need us. This guy, your main character, is out there saving people and uh, saving people, and she just wants to go home because she feels like, oh, it's changing him. Well, shit, that's war. War never changes. That's what I meant to say. War changes you, and it is a war he's fighting in in Far Cry 3. Although I don't see that whole he's becoming obsessed with killing thing. I never got that feeling, but that's apparently what the game developers went for. But since but I just felt like she is the most selfish character in any video game. She just wants to go home while their friends are still in trouble, while the people of the islands are being murdered and being held captive. And here's a guy who actually seems to be able to help them, and all she wants to do is go home. So yeah, I can't remember her name, but yeah, the girlfriend from Far Cry 3 is probably my least favorite character in any video game. Next up, we have question 11. Oh god, there's still a lot of them. No, that was question 11. Question 12. What gaming systems do you own? A PC. I'm not gonna. So let's just move on to the next. That's all I have. What was your first game system? Well, my first game system we already talked about. That was the Pong console, quickly followed by the Atari 2600. Then moving on to the Commodore 64, and I've been a PC owner ever since. Next question. I'm gonna rush through some of these because it says I don't want this video to be too long. What's your favorite gaming system and why? The PC, because there are endless possibilities on the PC. But if I have to say any of the consoles, I would probably say the Super Nintendo, even though I've never owned one. Because I've played a lot of emulator. Don't tell anybody. But yeah, I played a lot of games on emulators, and there's a lot of really fun games on that system. Do you prefer to play guy characters or girl characters? Well, that's an interesting question. Uh, in most games, I really don't care because it's not important. If I play Tomb Raider, I mean it's a girl character. And No One Lives Forever is a girl character. If I play Duke Nukem or Half Life, you're playing as a male character. But if I have a choice, I mostly actually choose female characters. I don't know why, but I think it's because most of the games where you can choose, you can also choose customization. And I've always felt like looking at the different characters and the different customizations that you can do, I feel like the female characters always have a lot more. There are a lot more hairstyles. We got a lot more clothing items for female rather than male. At least a lot more different. Uh, and to be honest, let's just go with it. Like, if you see a female running around being badass warrior, that's so much cooler than a man. I don't know. I always preferred female characters. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of stereotypical old-fashioned kind of thing. I'm not where it's still a bit surprising when you see a female hero and stuff like that. Maybe that's a part of it, because we do see mostly male heroes in both video games and movies. So maybe that, and so therefore a female character just becomes that much cooler. I don't know if that's what's doing it, but I prefer playing as the female characters, but mostly for the customizations things. But also, hey, if I have to play a game for several hours where I need to look at my character, I prefer it to be a woman, to be honest. Anyway, moving on to the next question, which is question 16, so there's not much left. Do you follow walkthroughs or do you play through on your own? I play through on my own, but if I'm stuck, I look at a walkthrough. That's not a big deal. I have this thing sometimes where I look at walkthroughs just to see how far I've gotten in the game. I don't know, just because sometimes I want to know if when I sit down and play a game, I like to see how long do I have of the game. Because if it turns out that there's like let's say 4 levels left and I only play 3 of them, if I knew there was 4 levels left, I'd probably go on playing just for the get to the end of the game. So sometimes, and especially with games that I don't really like, but because if I begin a game, if I start a game, I prefer completing it, even if it is a game that I'm not really liking. Right now, I'm playing a Sniper Ghost Warrior, and it's really not that great of a game. It has its moments, and it's pretty to look at, but most of the time, it's just no. But I'm going to play it to the end still. So in that case, I've looked at the walkthrough just to see how far I've gotten, and if I like playing adventure games, I sometimes feel like looking at a walkthrough. I watch playthroughs on YouTube, but only if I played the game already, or if I know it's a game that I'll never play. For instance, I watch a complete playthrough of Outlast, and that's just not my kind of game, but I kind of like watching it still. Um, Next question. Question number 17. Do you ever have you ever been to a gaming convention? No, I haven't. Uh, okay. Next question. What game are you most excited for to come out in the future? Well, that one is easy. Fallout 4. I am so looking forward to Fallout 4. Um, uh, I think it's a bit away still, but I'm really looking forward to it. Uh, Also, Doom 4 and Black Desert. Black Desert, I'm really looking forward to as well. It's an MMO. You can look it up if you don't know the game. So yeah, those games I'm really looking forward to. What's your best memory of a video game? And what's your worst memory? Those two questions. Let's just do them both. My best memory of a video game is probably playing Duke Nukem. Not for the first time, but just playing it. Whenever a new, really great total conversion or user map came out, it was just like, wow, yes. And I think my favorite moment as that was playing through Starship Troopers, the total conversion for Duke Nukem. I might play it on this channel because that's just amazing. It's so well done. It's incredible. I think that is one of my favorite gaming experience was playing that. I never completed it, but but yeah, a lot of the Duke Nukem stuff is just wow. Also, finally completing Harvest Moon was kind of a great experience. And worst, I don't know. Sniper Ghost Warrior might be one of them, but I don't really have any bad gaming moments. Okay, moving on. This video is becoming way too long. Okay, this is the last question. Which video game character you see yourself as, or if you had to be represented by a video game character, who would it be? Duke Nukem. Nah, I don't see myself as Duke Nukem. The Lone Wanderer or Curious X, anybody, because that's the characters that I play. That's the characters that become me. That's the ones I see myself as. The one you create yourself. The one you be. And that's also if I don't know. That's my best question. But yeah, that's it. That was long. I apologize if this has become a way too long video. It probably has. I don't know how long it is. But today's videos, I'm just gonna go quickly, is gray matter. So yeah, and the second fall where I enjoy some cooking. So see you then, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Minecraft. Changes may come in the future. Bye.